Good evening. Is this available?
Yes, it is.
Please leave me alone. We are sleeping. Huh? So, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It's Talk Tuesday. I'm
It
very
is Talk
happy to be here.
Tuesday. Different guest than usual.
Yes, I'm not Josh.
Mr. One.
Sorry.
Mr. One Josh Koval is recording some stuff tonight, and thus it's just you and me.
Mm-hmm.
You and Shmee, as you like to say.
Oh no.
Mr. Shmee.
Don't tell them that.
We are going to talk today. We have some things to talk about. I have two things to talk about. It's mostly going to be about Superman.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get that out the gate. I'll probably talk about this with Josh as well. I'm really sad that Ozzy died.
Yeah, I heard about that today.
James Doominson, what's up?
Hi.
I don't know if you have virtually met my girlfriend, Jimmy Doom. This is Polisa.
Hi, Jimmy. Nice to meet you.
We have some thoughts about the new Superman. We're gonna be diving into that.
Yeah, we went and saw it on Friday.
We did. But today I just want to, and I'll talk about this with Josh as well. I just want to commemorate and put a indelible timestamp on this episode that will forever be remembered as the day that Ozzy Osbourne died. And I am sad about that. I don't know if you were an Ozzy guy, Jimmy, but yeah, I was telling Polisa at dinner where I almost started crying again. Metal is my favorite genre of music, and though Black Sabbath is considered classic metal now, they were one of the pioneers of it. And I remember when I was 13 years old, over half my life ago, my dad gave me one of their CDs, and it just blew me away. And I was like, what is this? Because at that point I was just listening to whatever was on the radio, or just newer, NSYNC had just NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, the big pop groups were really where it was at. And I think I had maybe just gotten into Linkin Park, some Gorillaz a little bit around that time. And my dad was like, "Oh, come on, bud, you gotta listen to this. This is the real stuff." He's like, "This is heavy metal," and it's funny how tame it is to today's metal by comparison, and even some of the stuff that I was listening to. But what listening to the pioneers, one of the biggest pioneers, Black Sabbath and Iron Maiden and Metallica and those guys, but specifically Black Sabbath and Ozzy himself. His voice is just iconic, and I'm surprised he lived as long as he did. To be honest,
you were saying he did heavy drugs.
Yeah. I think that the drugs probably kept him alive more than anything, kind of preserving his body. But yeah, sad about that. However, sad about a lot of things, and here's my segue. I'm sad about a lot of things in the world. I know I don't want to just move on, but I know you probably don't have a lot to say about Ozzy.
I don't know Ozzy Osbourne at all. I only know him in the way I know the Beatles. I respect what he's done, and I'm sad that he's gone, but I've never heard his music.
Yeah.
Other than learning the bass line of Crazy Train in 10th grade. But that was I liked that song. I didn't know it was him though when I learned it. I just was like, "Oh, this is really good." So that's how influential he is. I didn't even know it was him, but it was in my head. I've known him. Yeah. I've known him without knowing him.
Crazy. So I was saying that we should I would love to show you maybe 5 songs of Ozzy's solo stuff and Black Sabbath. I was I won't give you the whole Val Kilmer treatment, because when he died, we started watching a bunch of his movies, almost all of his movies, ones that we've seen, ones that we haven't. I'll get to that. And I was I won't give you the whole. We don't have to go through their whole discography, but there are certain standout ones that I must I must. I kind of want to play just to get out of my system, emotionally. Like specifically, like Mama, I'm Coming Home and See You on the Other Side, which he wrote about. I was telling you about Randy Rhoads, his guitarist who died in a plane crash. But yeah, Jimmy says, as a metal fan, not necessarily an Ozzy fan, it's always sad to see the moment of history come to an end point. Like when Stan Lee passed, just seeing the final spark is a moment in its own. Yeah, totally. Very poignant. I like the way that you worded that. Seeing a moment of history come to an end point. Yeah. And one of the things that like kind of makes this a bit of a silver lining is that goodbye show that he had.
Stan Lee?
No. Ozzy.
Oh, one of my mutuals went to see that.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't.
Awesome.
They were really excited.
I would have loved to see that. I should have gone with my dad.
He went to see Ozzy's last show?
No. I was like, I should have arranged to go with my dad.
Oh.
Because he was the one that introduced me to them.
They said it was like he knew that he was gonna die soon.
Yeah. He's had Parkinson's for a long time. His health obviously hasn't been great. You know, you burn yourself out on every illicit substance known to man, and it's gonna do some damage to you. But yeah, he got to have this kind of like big send off, like a bunch of, you know, his old bandmates and a bunch of like newer bands did cover songs, and he performed, you know, for the last time, sitting on this big awesome throne. And yeah. Anyway, thank you for your insight. It's interesting seeing somebody who like you aren't a fan, but you know like the impact that he's had on music and even just pop culture. Because another thing we were talking about was like all the movies that he's been in and cameos and voice projects and even video games. Like he was in a video game with Jack Black.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, where he plays himself, and we quote Little Nicky a lot, and he's in that as well, just as himself. But my segue was, I'm sad about that, and I am sad about a lot of things right now in this world of ours, this country of ours in particular. And I'm angry about a lot of things about our country and our world right now. And superhero movies, I feel like in the last 10-15 years have been kind of about getting too gritty and realistic, and they have their, like, you know, talk about the darkness of these characters, and they have had their time. I still like them. I even still like the Zack Snyder, the Snyderverse movies. Henry Cavill will always be my favorite.
What is the
Superman.
Snyderverse?
So the one where I was telling you about when we watched Superman, the newest one, Zack Snyder, he made like the previous iteration of Superman with Henry Cavill.
Oh yes, so he was the director.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he made a bunch of those, like the Batman v Superman movie and Dark Knight, and I mean not Dark Knight, Man of Steel, and he made a version of the Justice League. And he's known for like, he's the guy who made 300.
Yes, I saw that in high school. I love 300.
Yeah. So like, you know the tone, like violent and dark and gritty and just a little over the top masculinity wise. And like I said, I like his movies. I actually still really like Man of Steel, even though it's very dark. I don't think you've seen that one.
Just for context, I've never seen any other Superman but the one we just saw, the newest one. So I know you know that, but just so people listening know, if he says a lot of things and you're like, why doesn't she? I'm like, I don't. I'm just now learning about superheroes. I was never really into them. Not to continue.
Please.
I just never saw a connection between myself and superheroes. At least not Western superheroes. They all just seemed very like, I don't know.
You can say it.
They just seemed targeted for boys, which
And a particular color of boys.
For white boys, yeah. And a lot of them seemed, at least from the marketing around them, which I'm learning is very different from the actual execution of these comics. The marketing around certain superheroes has always felt a little more military pro woo-ha, like pro America, which I'm never going to be that. Like, it all just felt very like, I don't know, it just felt like it was for boys and for men, and I didn't really see any space for women outside of just being like a really pretty assistant, reporter, waitress, girl next door, like
or the like Black Widow types who are like,
or they're just there to be sexy superheroes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not saying the male superheroes aren't sexy, but there's a difference in tone.
Yeah.
Does Catwoman need to be spread eagle in order to rob things? Batman doesn't need to be spread eagle in order to rob things. Like, so
maybe
I guess
those movies would be better if he was.
Yeah, I mean, I'd take it.
Could you imagine Batman just like Bruce Lee splitting?
I've got to reach deep into this sewer and grab this key.
You better stop, you big bad guys.
Like, I'm just like, I saw that and I guess I was just like, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
I feel like I cut you off though. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, like, superhero movies as we've known them, even the ones that you have seen, which, to give yourself some credit, you've seen quite a bit of like the older MCU movies like that, all the Iron Mans and stuff.
Oh, I used to love Iron Man.
Yeah, but so they're like a certain tone, like they're kind of gritty and they're kind of
they seem to want realism.
Yes, over everything.
Which I wonder, and maybe you've mentioned this to me before, is that a reaction to just knowing that the original comics were so like the colors were so bright and the costumes were so bright and everything felt cartoony? Do you think they're trying to overcompensate and be like, this is how it would feel in the real world?
I think it was to get more eyes on these projects, like to bring them into like the mainstream audience so that anyone can go see a Marvel movie. And it took them a while to get to that point. Like Iron Man like kind of started it and people were like, oh, wait a second, hang on, these are actually awesome. Actually, I would maybe say like the first Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire was probably the shift into like, oh, this isn't just something for nerds. Like everybody's talking about Spider-Man. Like, oh my God, did you see Spider-Man? Yeah, it's amazing. And then when the MCU like proper started, it you know, it just took over. I mean, who doesn't know about, you know, Iron Man and Thor and Captain America and freaking Black Panther and even like the Black Widows. You know, if you say to a normie, like, do you know who Black Widow is? Even if they don't know anything about anything, they'd be like, I think that's a superhero, right? Like,
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, ScarJo. Oh, she plays only exclusively white female characters, right?
I wish.
That's that actor? Oh my God, I'm very blue right now.
Dabba-dee dabba-da.
Dabba-dee dabba-da, dabba-dee dabba-da. Okay. Yo, that song unironically slaps.
It's so good.
So, like I was saying, the superhero movies up until this point kind of had, I don't want to say a good or a bad vibe, but they have a particular vibe, and they don't stray too much from it. And a lot of it is about like embracing the darkness, and in order to like show the humanity of the characters by showing their weaknesses. And there's not a whole lot of hope with those. And if you know Superman, that's a very important word. There's not a lot of room for hope and positivity in those movies. Until now. I feel like, to give like my broad thoughts over this movie before we like just dive into like how we don't have to go scene for scene like we did with Princess Mononoke. We've only seen it once anyway, so I don't think we could. But I will say it's very, very refreshing. And I'll say straight out the gate, I was kind of a naysayer. Ooh. I was a lot of a naysayer, actually. I was like, I don't know, this David Corenswet guy, like, he looks a little too like boyish, and you're coming from Henry freaking chiseled square jaw Cavill, my highest man crush, to David Corenswet, which he looks great. If this movie had come out in the 90s, it would be like, yeah, spot on, like of course. He was the most believable Clark Kent. Oh, totally.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm qualified to say that because he's the only one I've seen, but
yeah, we watched clips when we watched that breakdown that we watched. There was plenty of clips of the other Supermen.
But I didn't get to know them.
Supermans.
Like I didn't watch their movies, so I feel like I'd want to see them.
Yeah.
Like I loved his Clark Kent.
I know.
It's like, okay, sorry.
We'll get there. You're so right, Jimmy. Like, he just has like this kind of goofy charm to him. Like,
matter of fact, I don't know how they made Henry Cavill goofy.
He's not, and that's like kind of like what a lot of people are like. You know, he is still relatable, but not as much as he maybe should have been. And that movie, his movies like go really dark places, and like I said, I was kind of a naysayer when I saw the casting. I was like, okay, he's all right. And I saw it was gonna be James Gunn, and I was like, okay, I feel like it might be a little too silly. It might be a little too Guardians of the Galaxy, quippy, you know. And then I saw Crypto was in it, the dog, and I was like, I don't know how are you gonna make Crypto cool?
I love Crypto. Okay, that's actually the only like thing growing up. I watched Crypto the Super Dog.
Yeah,
I love that show.
I
know more about the dog.
All these things.
Isn't that wild?
All these things came together, and I was like, man, I don't know about this new Superman. I just thought it was going to be too corny. I knew they were like, we're going to go light, we're going to go colorful. We want to bring like the fun, the comic bookness of it back.
I wonder how much of that is influenced by the current tumultuousness of our society.
I bet 100%.
Okay.
I bet that it has a huge influence on that. Yeah, thank you. But overall, yeah, like it's bright and fun and happy and funny and moving and still grounded and still human. And what I said earlier about like how previous superhero movies like tend to show the humanity by showing the darkness and the weaknesses of the characters. This one shows Superman's humanity by showing his love and his kindness and his steadfastness and his earnestness and his honesty. And I loved it. It is so good. I absolutely loved it. That's my baseline overview, and then we can talk in depth, but just like initial thoughts, like summing up how you feel before we dive into some of our favorite scenes, maybe.
Okay, yeah. I was a naysayer too because of the propaganda around Superman.
Yeah.
For some reason, I just got this idea that he was going to be this like symbol of like kind of Captain America adjacent. Like I was like, oh, he's going to be this symbol of truth, justice, in the American way. I have a lot of really angry feelings towards the American government. I have for years.
Emphasis on the American part.
The American part.
It's red, white, and blue.
So it's like, I already right off the bat was like, I'm not going to like this. Like, this is probably just going to be... Because I heard, not just Superman, but I heard there were a lot of superheroes that were created post-World War II almost to kind of, like, propagandize the superpower that is the American like regime. So thinking of it like that, I was doubly like, I don't want to. This is probably going to be a bunch of bullshit propaganda. And then I heard Fox News bitching about how awful it was. Yeah. And I was like, oh my god, I have to see it. If they hate it,
you're like, then I'll love it.
It can't be that bad, right? if it can't be pro-fascist if they hate it. So I was like, I really want to see it. Yeah. And a lot of people were saying it was very pro-Palestine, which, you know, we support Palestine, so I was like, oh, definitely want to see that. So then I saw it, and I cried way more than I thought I would. I loved it.
Yeah.
I've never overarching thoughts. I've never felt so strongly towards a superhero, and I really like Deadpool. But even I like Deadpool. For a time, I liked Captain America. I know that might sound ironic given all the things that I just said, but it's, I don't know. I'll explain it another time. But like, there were a couple superheroes that I've liked, but none of them have shown the vulnerability that I've seen from Superman, and at least not right away. Like, and I know that could probably easily, you mentioned corny, like worrying like, oh, this might be corny. That could easily fall into the realm of like, oh my God, like this is so unrealistic and too toxic positive. Like nobody acts like that. I love throughout the whole movie how, I'm just going to call him Clark because that's his name. Yeah. Clark, whether he's Superman.
That's his Kryptonian name, Kal-El.
Oh, right. That was interesting.
I don't think they mentioned that once in that movie, by the way. They don't call him Kal-El.
They don't. I hear it in his tape with his parents or something. Yeah. There's so much Abrahamic religion undertone in this. Oh, yeah. I know the two Jewish men created it, so I'm sure that's why. Yeah. But it's just fascinating. Even his name sounds... it's just interesting. But I loved it. I thought there was so much beautiful vulnerability. I fell in love with Clark Kent. I fell in love with Superman.
I, outside of this, fell in love with David Corenswet because of
he's so wholesome.
Seeing his interviews is like incredible. Like I want to hang out with him. I want to be friends with him.
He seems so sweet.
Yeah, he's a huge Star Wars fan too. I was like, oh my God, we can talk Star Wars.
He was sold. You sold at that point. So that's my overarching thoughts. I was pleasantly surprised. Yeah. I fell in love. I was ready to ride or die for him after 8 minutes into the movie.
I know. You should have seen. She was popping off, jumping out of the seat like, yeah, let's go.
Get it, baby.
I was like, you just became a Superman fan.
He's my friend. Like oh my God, I love him so much. He might be my favorite. He's my favorite American superhero.
Wow.
Isn't that wild?
That is a serious statement.
I take that back. He's not American. He's my favorite alien.
Yeah.
Immigrant superhero.
Illegal alien. What a fun take for someone who's not seen a Superman movie.
I know. Yeah. Isn't that wild? I know. I don't know if now I'm interested in seeing the others. I kind of want to because I like to be a thorough kind of person.
There's so much that I still really like about Man of Steel. Oh. The Henry Cavill one, and it's not just Henry Cavill. Like I love that man. But I really like some of the beats that they take, even some of the darker ones. Like I think it's an interesting take on the character. And I liked what you said about Superman seeming too like perfect and like, no, nothing ever goes wrong, and truth and justice in the American way. You can always count on me.
I was waiting for Turbo Man. Period. Yeah, Thank you.
It's Turbo time. But in reality, we know. So you also mentioned Captain America. I would say the Captain America of, I mean, really any of them. The comics and the movies. I'm not as familiar with the comics, but the portrayal in the movies, like I feel like they've wanted his character to always be. He stands for what America thinks they are. He stands for what America should have always been, protecting the weak, standing up for. He was bullied his whole life. He was a little scrawny chicken nugget. And
the American government mutated and experimented on him for weapon status.
Yeah, but
which I kind of like because that also embodies America.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But he's like he is what America should be, even though it's not. And that's what I like about him. Like he's flawed too. And the same thing with this Superman. I feel like it is like a very like America. No, I don't want to do. Actually, don't want to do the Team America thing because it's not. He's not that. Like again,
no, I thought he would be, but he's not.
I thought he would be too, and there's also he gets a lot of crap for in the comics and some of the other media for being like the Boy Scout, being like the perfect one who like never like does anything inappropriate or and then
irony.
I know, but the humanness of David Corenswet's portrayal of Clark in this one, like he has, I mean, he's like full on making out with Rachel Brosnahan. I mean, they're like, he picks her up by the ass cheeks and puts her up against the wall, and it's just like, woo! Yeah. Okay, so we're allowing him to go there as well. And he's not this like, sex? Never heard of it. Is that kind of like studying?
I'm dead. Like, now, is it like that in the other movies? Like, is he never sexual, really?
No. It's more so like in the comics, because when James Gunn was like, I'm trying to make this much more closer to the comics, that's what made me like, I don't know about that.
It's probably going to be 1950s holding hands gets you pregnant type of energy.
Basically, yeah.
But he still grabbed ass.
Yeah, purity culture out the ass. Like, the messages obviously have always been there. Like, he started off, and this is he started off like beating up corrupt landlords and people committing war crimes. He was always woke, you dumb dickheads.
Didn't know that.
I just went 0 to 100.
No, that's fair. Oh my god.
Fucking
yeah, didn't
conservatives are all like, when did Superman become woke? Same time X-Men did. The fucking first day they existed.
The first time the issue came out. Yeah.
Superhero stories have always been woke. And I'm not letting them take that word from us.
Yeah.
They have always been about fighting for inequality.
Because again, being woke is just being aware of other people's suffering.
Yeah. But you have to...
How can that be a bad thing?
Yeah. Well, if they're suffering, then they should just pull themselves up by their bootstraps.
Yeah, like Jesus said on the Sermon on the Mount with 5 fish and 2 loaves of bread.
Yeah.
They were like, Jesus, Lord, give us food. You're the Son of God. Help us. We're hungry. And Jesus was like, have you tried getting another job?
Have you tried not being poor? Sorry, leprosy's a pre-existing condition, bro.
Wow, why should we have to burden ourselves? We only have 5 loaves of bread and 2 loaves of fish. Yep. I totally switched that up, but that doesn't negate my point. But yeah, you're right. I'm learning from you, especially. You shared so much with me about like superheroes and their origins being very much progressive, very much about pushing back against systems of injustice, not just 1 or 2 evil people. And it's so refreshing and cool. And the X-Men, like, that's the one that gets me the most.
That's
like,
my favorite.
You showed me X-Men, and I didn't know their whole arc. I didn't know their story. I just knew that they were people with extraordinary physical abilities, but the way society viewed them shocked me. And then I was like, it's allegory and metaphor. I don't know which. Yeah. It was great. So the idea that there are people who are like, oh god, they're making X-Men. I'm not. What they're saying is they're making X-Men diverse, and it's not just white people in there anymore. And I'm just like,
it's always been that.
But they're always viewed as different and not worthy of respect. They're redlined.
Yeah.
They're like forced into camps. They're tortured and experimented on by the government. They're kidnapped from their homes.
Legislation is brought about to like
control and dehumanize and discriminate or kill them,
genocide them,
or
not euthanize, sterilize them
against their consent, without their like voice being in the conversation, legislation and policy. Like, who does that sound like? So the idea that, I think it was you that told me that people were saying that about X-Men, I was like, what the hell? Didn't you tell me? I was like, didn't you tell me that this is about? And you were like,
X-Men is peak commentary on crappy folk. That is a kind way to put it.
It's a very gracious way.
I have much more colorful language to say that very same thing, but you're right. Yeah. That's exactly it.
But I've loved it.
Anyway,
and I've loved Superman, and this is so great.
As much as I would love to talk about X-Men until the cows come home, until the queer black cows come home.
Hello.
Because did you know that it was supposed to be MLK and Malcolm X? Did you know that it was about racism and homophobia?
Why are you making everything about race?
Yeah, Stanley.
Except everything.
It was always. So yes, this, and I don't. Jimmy, have you seen Superman yet, or do you plan to? If you haven't, I don't want to go into like super spoiler territory, but we may inadvertently, but I'll avoid it if you'd prefer.
Oh, you've seen it.
Okay, cool.
Perfect.
I still, for anyone watching, either currently or after the fact on YouTube.
Do you want to give like a hand signal when we're gonna talk about like a spoiler? Like, I'll just wave, and then we can say audibly like a spoiler is coming, and then after we're done, we'll be like, okay, you can come back.
Yeah, let's do that. Well, if we want to talk about spoilery things.
Okay. So this is the code. This is spoiler, and then when we're done,
okay.
I'll clap.
Clap your hands.
So if you're putting it on mute because you don't want to hear it, just look for my hands to clap, and that means we're done talking about spoilers.
Okay. But we're fine for now. We're not. Yeah. We'll let you know when we go into that territory.
Yep. Look for the hand wave, and we'll
viewers.
say.
I guess, yeah, like what were some of the scenes that really jumped out at you? I know for me, because the one that we talked about the most was... I
know what you're going to say.
The interview.
I think we both had very strong feelings and reactions to it.
We did. Yeah, you much stronger than me.
Yeah.
Like you said, it is very apparent and very heavy on the allegory of Israel and Palestine.
Yeah. I was very angry with the interview.
I know. So tell us.
I can't separate my own experience fighting oppression from scenes like this. And since the focus of the interview, and this was like Lois.
Hey, Lois.
I always think of Family Guy.
Which is funny because Lois's voice actor is...
It's not Rachel Brosnahan.
No, but it's Rachel Brosnahan's manager in her other show, Susie Meyerson.
Oh my God, I love her.
Susie Meyerson and Associates.
Yes, it is her, isn't it? I didn't think of that.
Which Rachel Brosnahan crushed it as Lois in this movie, I think.
She did. She was really good. I didn't like Lois Lane as a character. I will say that. Not saying anything about Rachel's portrayal. Rachel's portrayal was excellent. She's a great actress. Okay, all right. Let me start with the interview scene. So it's explained in the movie. Clark, he gets to it's the Daily Bugle, right? That's where he works. He gets to the Daily Bugle, and she's hitting him with the whole like witty banter thing, and it comes up that he's interviewed Superman. And at this point, I don't know that she knows he's Superman.
Yeah.
I think she's the only person in the office that knows, but he always has exclusives. And I was like, oh my goodness, he interviews himself? That's wild. So like then
Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man taking pictures of himself as Spider-Man. They're like, how do you get these? Oh, I'm just really lucky.
Like, what? So then they're at her apartment making out, and then I'm like, oh, they're together. Oh, yeah. Like, we're not just like... I never know what I'm going to get. I never know if we're going to start with them not knowing much about each other, and we're going to get this seemed like we start in the middle love story. Which I was fine with. It just shocked me. I was like, oh, I thought we were going to see her find out, and now in this universe it just starts out with her knowing his secret and them already banging.
Yeah, I think much like the Spider-Man Uncle Ben origin, we've seen that so many times that they don't really need to go there again. And so that's why we get that Star Wars inspired opening crawl at the beginning of the movie where it's established that he's been on Earth for 3 years.
Yeah.
Or no, not on Earth. He's been something happened 3 years ago.
300 years ago, metahumans arrived or something like that.
Yeah, and
he's only 33, so he's only been here for 33 years.
Something like that, yeah. But then it was like 3 years ago maybe he started being Superman 3 years ago.
I think
that's what it was.
Yeah.
So he's been there for a while. They've already fallen in love. She's found out. So
then they're in her apartment making out and whatnot, and she's like, no, I think he brings it up. He's like, I'll let you interview me, and she's like, word? And he's like, yeah, no worries.
As Superman, not Clark.
As Superman, not Clark, which...
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Here's my context. I have, among many people that I know, written to major news outlets about the genocide happening in Palestine. And I bring this up because it is very it's been told and been said that this movie is very pro-Palestine, and it kind of talks about, like, there's a lot of symbolism related to what's happening currently. And because of that, I think I've seen how the Western news media manufactures consent for war crimes, like American war crimes globally. So the question, I think I've become, over the past 2 years especially, hyper fixated on what questions are asked, what angle these questions are being asked from. And I had a teacher in college that told me, like, there's no such thing as an unbiased news source. It's just it's not about, it's not necessary, it doesn't necessarily have to be about finding a news source that's unbiased. It's more that, do you recognize this bias, and are you filtering the information within awareness of the bias? As long as you know that there's a bias, it's fine for you to, he would say it's fine to consume that news, as long as you are open to other, like, news sources as well coming in, and then you're willing to have, like, a fuller picture. So for example, if you're looking at 4 news sources and you see different biases on each, but there might be a strength in each one too, you can, in your own head, use that comprehension and be like, okay, so they make a fair point here. I do see that there's a little bit of bias here, so let me kind of leave room for that and kind of take it with salt. I do kind of appreciate their view, but let me get this other person's view too. I may not agree fully with their bias, but they are bringing a perspective that that person's bias isn't allowing them to bring right now, and I want to get a full picture. So because of that, and because in my mind, when I think of the Daily Bugle, I think of the New York Times. It just seems like they're that prominent.
Yeah.
I also have a really big bone to pick with the New York Times because, again, they've been manufacturing consent for Israel's genocide in Palestine for a while. But other things too, like if I look throughout history, and I'm 31, so there's a lot of things that have happened historically. Like 9/11 happened when I was 8, so I really didn't, when it happened we were at recess. Like I barely had memories. Like it, maybe something on the news, adults were crying, but me and my friends were just like, maybe that was a privilege. I didn't know anybody, but like,
you're like, some building blew up somewhere.
I didn't know anybody. I was 8.
Did I forget my Barbie at home?
Yeah, like I had my Barbie backpack and my toys, and I was very fortunate to not be have anybody I know affected by that. Obviously it was tragic, but I just think about the campaign from the Western news media against Muslim people after that. Immediately, and like how awful day. Stop and frisk and like all the things. And so when I hear Lois Lane's questions to Superman, and a lot of her questions were like, well, what gives you the right to interfere with this conflict? Like, especially when this country that you interfered with is our ally, you know? And I know that she was trying to be objective and like hit him with the like challenging questions, but I just felt like every single question seemed to imply that, like, one, that he was wrong for trying to stop millions of people from being murdered because like he didn't consider the nuance of it, which I understand the importance of like that, but he kind of like exploded at the end. He was like, people were going to die, and she got quiet, and I was just like, because I think that there is a strength for nuance. I do think nuance is great, but at some point, I do think as a society, we have to stop putting nuance and gray things to crimes against humanity.
Yeah.
Millions of people were going to die, and he had the superpower to stop it.
Sometimes it is that simple. And as somebody that is from multiple marginalized groups, I have gotten... this is where my own personal thing comes into it. I've had multiple people ask me questions just like that in the name of being objective, whether it's been news reporters. I have been interviewed by the news before, and they ask these questions that feel so detached and so like, I'm going to put your humanity in this academic exercise. And sometimes we have to think about like, maybe that was, you know, maybe there's other factors going in. Like, who are you to stop? I would have wanted somebody to stop these things. Like, and I'm not even going through half of the things that people in the global south are going through right now, living in this country. So when I hear those questions that she was asking, that is just, it made me angry. I was just like, I know that you're doing your job. There's a part of me that can understand that you're trying to be objective, but maybe the personal part of me as well, and like my identity and my experience is also, you're pissing me off. I thought your popcorn was gonna hit the screen.
I was so mad. I was like, what the fuck?
Like, this fucking bitch!
This bitch! I was ready to jump through the screen. I was like, what a privileged ass question to ask.
I know.
Like, how dare you? But I also will leave room for the fact that I was in my feelings because I just loved him.
Yeah.
And maybe he does deserve to be, and you made a good point when we talked about it. You're like, I mean, a lot of superheroes don't get asked these questions. They just kind of barrel through and don't think about, like, hey, what are the implications of you just deciding you want to play world police? And I felt like that's kind of what she was asking him, which I think I wouldn't have had a problem with that question for any other superhero as well. But I also feel like Superman himself, he has no guile to me.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen superheroes, and I'm going to come from Mr. Incredible from The Incredibles.
Ooh, I thought you were going to say Iron Man.
Iron Man is another great example.
They made 3 movies about that whole scene as the movie. Like, that's Iron Man's whole thing in the MCU anyway. Is like,
just...
And it's so valid. And he realizes that, and that's his whole arc.
I would have wanted Lois Lane to ask him those questions, actually. Yeah, I'm like, there's plenty. Do they?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's been a minute.
Yeah.
I need to rewatch that, because I was like, Clark Kent does not deserve this smoke. Okay? This poor boy. I really became like, I'm going to protect him. Which, he's a grown-ass man. That part, I will concede that I was like, all right. I just don't want him to get his feelings hurt. Because I felt like he's just so... I felt it in the beginning, and I was like, maybe it's too soon. We haven't finished this movie. And then we got to the end of the movie, and I was like, I was right. I don't sense ego in him. And maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not seeing it, but like every superhero I've ever seen, and even some that I've liked, there's always just a bit of ego. If you're Mr. Incredible, there's a lot of ego. I'm coming for his neck because I just recently rewatched The Incredibles, and I used to love it as a kid, and now that I'm an adult, I can't stand... I don't want to say I can't stand The Incredibles, I just don't like Mr. Incredible. He pisses me off. Because he was willing to risk his family's well-being by having to move constantly just so that he could play the hero. And I'm sure that part of that... No!
That's kind of what I said.
That's him. So, okay, fair point, Jimmy. I will give you that, and I will allow that question to segue to Andrew.
Okay, you can...
That's it. I was just going to go on Mr. Incredible. That is so The point is, I just felt like he didn't have an ego to be questioned. I never felt like his motives for... Not that impact is less important than intent.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying intent is more important than impact, but I just felt like he didn't do nothing. So, but I want to hear your thoughts.
So, we landed I think we landed on 2 different ends of the same side of the coin. Like, I was also kind of like to agree with the parts that I agree with you. I was mad that she... At first, I was mad because I was like, she sounds so combative. She sounds so... She's not saying like any of the good things that came from this. She went... I liked that she asked the questions that she did, which is where we differ. I think I was mad that she asked them first. And it's kind of like when you say, like, when people ask you the loaded questions that they ask you, like about your skin or your hair or whatever, it's like, you can't, and then they get all offended, like, well, why can't I ask that? And
so I'm not allowed to be objective and interview suck?
And it's like, you can, but why do you feel the need to go to that first? Why do you feel the need to jump to that? And it almost feels like, in a roundabout way, defending
what's
the war crimes that were about to happen. Not... Or maybe not defending them, maybe just...
being an apologist a bit about it?
Yeah, or not taking it as seriously as it should have been. And Clark, he's a small town kid from a farm. He's a good old boy. I don't think he has the nuance that she does, and I think he should have been challenged on that. Like Jimmy said, he should be held to a higher standard because he's in
your corner, Jimmy.
He's a god amongst these people. And yes, completely separating the fact that he does not become Homelander from the boys, from having this godlike power, is incredible and shows like amazing restraint and shows that he's a good person, and those are his strengths. Is his restraint at all times. He could snap his finger and destroy the entire Earth. But if he is, like you said, going to go out and play world police, he does need to be challenged.
Be ready to answer questions about it.
I think where I land is somewhere in between both of them. A little more on Clark's side, but I do think that I also really liked the separation of she jumped right into I am Lois Lane the reporter interviewing Superman the demigod, not Clark Kent my boyfriend. And he had trouble separating that too. That's why he kept pausing and being like, don't talk about that. She's giving Superman perspective, reminding Clark that he's also Superman. They aren't that different. Which reminds him that he should stand for something greater to inspire those that aren't on his god level.
Ooh, okay, Jimmy. Okay, Dev.
Okay.
I can appreciate that.
Interesting. I need to read that again. Reminds him that he should stand for something greater and inspire those that aren't. But I think he does that though, and I think that is kind of what he was doing, or at least was seeking out to do. Because he has such a black and white view of the world. Like some would say naive. I would maybe even say naive, a little naive. But not. He's like, I have all this power. I want to help people with this power. Why is it wrong for me to help people with this power? And he's not seeing like.
I think she even asked like, "Hey, why wouldn't you just consult the president of the U.S. first?"
Right.
And I don't remember what he said, but my eyes rolled so hard because I was like, if the U.S. is in cahoots with a country that is ready to commit genocide and displacement against another people group, why would Superman be like, is it okay if I stop you?
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway.
But I don't think it's so interesting that I see you attaching a lot of like right-wing mentality to Lois here, and this is the most progressive Lois we've ever gotten.
Like,
because like I mean, she even talks about being like anti-establishment and being like a punk kid growing up, and she's out to become a reporter and bring out the truth. And
let me tell you something.
I know. Okay. I don't think what you have experienced is what they were going for her in this movie. I don't think it's that deep. I think she genuinely is like. I think she's doing her job as a journalist and asking the right questions, but I think maybe at the wrong time. Or maybe not in the best way. I don't know. Maybe they were also fighting like at this time, and she's like, I knew this would never work. So like, I think maybe a little bit of the animosity between them came out in, I don't think either of them were as objective as they thought or prepared as they thought they were going to be for this interview. I think this interview scene is the most important and impactful, I think, scene of the entire movie. I want to watch it again. I want to watch just that scene again. I also think she's salty because he's interviewing himself and not hooking his girl up. I know, right?
I will give you that. It is kind of weird that he's interviewing himself. If I was him, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't interview myself at all. I wouldn't do any interviews as Superman, but especially not interviewing. That's the one criticism I will allow to stand for my little baby. My baby Superman.
That's such a...
I protect him so hard.
That's such a Smallville thing. Like, he probably thinks he's so brilliant. That's where he's from.
Wasn't that a TV show?
Yeah.
Was that about him?
Yeah. It was a Superman show. The Revelation.
I never knew that. That was always on ABC Family, and I was like, "What is this? Is this like Kyle XY?" Oh, did it suck?
I didn't like it.
I don't know what the hell it was about.
A lot of people did. I couldn't get into it. I can't get into any of those, like CWS, even the new ones like Arrow and Flash, and I just can't. Ugh. It's it looks so bad. But he probably thinks like. He's so brilliant. He's like, no one will ever figure out that I'm Superman if I do a fake interview with myself as Superman.
It's like so That's if she's gonna criticize him, I would criticize him for that too. That might be the first criticism I'll give him.
Yeah.
I don't know why he did that. Did anyone demand an interview? Like, was he like, I have to? He doesn't get on social media. That's what he said.
Yeah. Oh. And when you said that he doesn't have any ego, I was gonna say there were little moments that I think they did pop up, and it was in this scene when he was getting really defensive, and when he was trying to find buzzwords for himself. Remember, he was like, Superman doesn't have time for selfies. She was like, you're just trying to come up with a quip. You're just trying to come up with a headline. Like, stop trying to be cool.
Oh.
You know? But him getting defensive, I think, was a little bit of ego.
I believe the fifth.
Way less than probably most superheroes, though. Like, I still do think he really is like this shining beacon of hope and good and all that's supposed to be good in this world, which is kindness and love, despite everything going around. Not being oblivious to everything going around and being like, la la la, fingers on my ears, everything is great, rainbows and unicorns up my ass. Like, he's like
all the way up.
He says, and we'll get to my second favorite scene of the movie. He's confronting Lex Luthor, and he says, and this is in the trailers, this is not a spoiler. He says, like, something along the lines of, you think my powers are my weakness, or something like, you think my powers are my strength, but my strength is my ability to love and care. He's like, I love, I cry, I hurt, I make mistakes, and I'm human. Like, even though I'm an alien, I'm basically a god on this earth. I'm human. I'm just like you. And you can't handle that. And you need to make an enemy out of me. And going back to Lois talking about being like punk, and she's like, I'm just a punk kid, like, like, and he's like, maybe she kind of gets on him.
Digging on him, which was another. For me, I was just sitting there like, at that point, I was super sensitive to anything she said to him, even if she was teasing him. I was like,
she pokes fun at him a bit.
She
and
did.
Says something along the lines of like,
just love him.
You know, you're not.
Nah,
I grew up a punk. You know, I grew up a punk. You don't know it. You don't even know what that is. And he says, like, maybe being kind is punk. And I've heard that before, like,
it is
in the face of.
Well, remember her setup was like, I don't trust anyone. I don't like, and you trust. Not only do you trust everyone, but you think everyone is beautiful. And he was like, maybe that's the real.
Maybe
punk.
That's really being punk. It is punk rock to care. It is punk to love. It is punk to hope.
It's punk to see the value in every sentient being around you.
Yeah, Optimus Prime. Come on.
Which he does. He rescues a fucking squirrel. And
I know. They almost cut that scene.
Why?
Because people, the test audiences was like, why did he stop to catch a squirrel in the middle of a fight? And James Gunn was like,
that's the point.
That's the point. And that's why I'm keeping it in.
That moved me so. I was shaking when I saw that. I've never seen a superhero value life.
Or try to stop the freaking thing from falling on the building.
Oh, spoiler.
It's not. It's in the trailers.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Not a spoiler.
Kaiju. Ignore that. Belay that.
Yeah, there's a big monster.
There's a big monster, and he just, after they defeat it, he's just
and it's not a plot. It's not a big plot point, this monster thing. It's more of a set piece.
Is it okay if we move forward to another scene?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I'm not listing one scene. I'm listing just multiple moments. I mean, that scene when he stopped the monster from crushing part of the city, like, I'm so used to superheroes not giving a damn because I just never expect them to, because I mean, it's hard defeating a giant super monster.
Yeah, steroid Stitch.
And steroid Stitch for real. And then you're done, and like, I wouldn't know how to clean that shit up. I mean, the most important thing in my head is like, can you stop this thing? I'm sure that we've got money to fix the city later.
Yeah. But he also was saying, like, can't we take this to some intergalactic zoo or something somewhere? Can we study this thing?
He didn't want to kill it.
Can we put it somewhere safe? And then
the other superheroes are like literally rolling their eyes and scoffing at him.
What the fuck? Shut up, dude.
Like, stop being such a little bitch.
And then they throw bombs in its belly and blow his ass up, and it dies in a really horrible, painful way, and they're punching it in the eyeball and trying to pull the eyes out, and it's like,
and he still catches it on the back and gently lowers it down. Yeah. I'm just like, him and Lois Lane are talking in his apartment. I think it's super shiny. Hers looks very like lived in, and wherever they were when that jellyfish is this a spoiler?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Why don't we might not be able to do like
don't watch this if you've maybe just don't watch this if you've
I mean, it also depends on like what you consider spoiler, because I'm like, anything that's in the trailer I think is fair game, but there are some people who are like, I like to go into movies completely blind and I don't want to know anything, so I think it's probably safe to say we're gonna spoil some things. I don't think we need to talk about like the ending or like, but just general themes and specific scenes we are going to talk about. So general mild spoiler overview. We're not going to be like, okay, so that
at 45
that post-credit scene where Spider-Man comes in and reveals that it's a Marvel DC crossover movie, and then Darth Vader shows up. Like,
this is all made up, as I'm sure you all know.
Obviously. Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, I loved when he's like, he's telling Lois, he's like, I'm gonna kind of just go get caught by the U.S. military and DOJ now. And she's like, what the hell? No. And he's like, no, Stephen. No. And he's like, yeah, but
Lois Lane.
Lois. Like, he's like, I gotta go get the dog. And she's like, you're going to get captured by the Department of Justice and the United States military for a dog?
Because they kidnapped the dog.
And he's like, yeah, and he's not even a really good one. It kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But he's alone.
He's scared.
He's scared. He's probably scared, so I should go be with him.
Oh.
He just says it matter of fact. It's not even like a... You know how people can say things in these subtle ways, and you can... I feel like you're very perceptive. So... I know you'll know what I mean. Like, it's sometimes subtle, sometimes not, but you can almost tell when someone's saying something because they want a reaction from you.
Yeah.
Or they want you to be like, wow,
or want to gas you up.
They want to gas you up. They want to, like, virtue signal a bit. They want to, like, very subtly be like...
Yeah, gas themselves up.
Yeah, I guess,
It was a really hard day today working at the puppy orphanage.
Yeah, but that's just the kind of guy I am. Like, he's not that. He literally was just like, I have to go.
Yeah.
I have to go. He's like, he'll be scared. So, like, what? For a dog that's going to die?
And he's
he's a super dog.
He's kind of an asshole. he's like, it's
not
even a good dog,
he
but
doesn't
he's
even
alone.
he doesn't like the dog.
And scared.
And I love that because it really shows you, it showed me the kind of love that is revolutionary isn't the kind of love where you like everybody or everything that is sentient around you. You don't have to like or always enjoy. You can be annoyed. You can be like, it's just like a pain in my ass, and still value their life and still show up for them. And I saw that in Superman, even just in the way he was like, wow. And it wasn't even this other end either of like, I have to do this thing. Even though he did say, he was like, I should be with him.
Yeah.
He's alone. He's scared.
You know what it reminds me of?
What?
Oh, you can finish your thought, but.
Are you going to say Nier?
Yes!
I knew you were going to say it.
Okay,
the ending.
Well.
Shit, sorry.
Without spoiling specifics, like there's a part in Nier Automata where you're given the ability to help other players, and it goes through this big thing of like, how do you even know? You don't know this person. This is another person across the internet. This is another person. You might not like this person. You might hate this person actually if you actually met them, but it's a person. It's another person, and that's where the message is. Like, he's like, I fucking hate this dog, but I love him. Like, I don't like him, but I love him unconditionally.
Yeah.
Because everyone deserves that.
Yeah.
Every sentient creature. The freedom is the right of all sentient beings, Megatron.
I can't stop thinking about that quote. I love that quote.
One of the best quotes of all time. Optimus Prime is up there with Superman in terms of like just pure good, like selfless.
Yeah.
Love and care and protection.
It just never feels like either virtue signaling or I can't say no, I'm codependent, I feel like I have to do this, which is those two ends feel like the same sides of one coin, like two sides of the same coin. Like either you're doing this because you're virtue signaling and you want to look like a good person, or you're doing this because you feel like if you don't do it then you won't be a good person. So it's like guilt with codependency with like, oh, I guess I'm obligated. Neither I felt with Superman, which is I feel like sometimes it can be hard to find that place of like unconditional, like I am committed to the highest good for other sentient beings. Not only because I know it's the right thing to do, that's sure, but I understand that our life forces are connected, and I feel like he understood that. I feel like he understood, like, if I don't value life here, I can't value it for anyone. That's just how it. He seemed to really understand the interconnectedness of life on this planet. It cannot be that we just look at some people and go, they're allowed to die and suffer alone. We cannot just look at some sentient beings, even if they're animals, and go, it's okay that they're being tortured because reason.
Are you saying Clark Kent understands intersectionality?
Clark Kent understands intersectionality.
This Clark Kent, our Clark Kent.
I love him.
I was thinking.
I'd love to hear your thoughts and your favorite scene.
Just like off of what you were saying, it made me think about, and I won't say what happens, but an event happens that makes him question this and his purpose and why he's here. And despite that happening in a very real way, that would have been any other character's villain origin story, and it would have turned into the Boys. He would have just become a Homelander. And
sorry to interrupt you, would you mind expounding on what The Boys is? I know what it is, but just in case people don't.
Yeah. So The Boys is Justice League if it was real. So you have a Superman equivalent character, you have a Wonder Woman, you have a Batman, you have an Aquaman, and so on. And in this show, a very, very good show on I think it's on Max, or I think it's on Prime. It was actually a comic as well. It shows what real life America, how real life America would handle superheroes. So they are basically super weapons. They are commodified. They are
contracted to the state,
bought and sold and contracted, and they're basically like weapons of mass destruction. And they all have massive egos, and they're all shit people. And the worst
do shit things.
And the worst of all of them is Homelander, the Superman character. And he has a god complex among many other fucked up things. And the show is excellent. Do not watch it while you're eating. That's all I will say. Not even the first episode. The first scene of that show made me want to hurl. But it is so compelling. It is not for the weak of stomach, which is why I haven't shown it to you, because can I say what happened?
Yep.
This one over here actually fainted when we watched Mad Max Fury Road. It was so... I thought you were like playing it up, because like we always like riff with each other and we play. It was a particularly violent scene, and
I fell out in the spirit. Everything got dark.
I was like, and I'm cracking up because it was funny, and then I didn't realize that it was like you weren't acting; it just had actually happened.
And terrifying.
Then I was like, "Oh my god!" We like stopped the movie. I was like, "Are you okay?" You're like, "I think."
It was so overwhelming. I was so frightened.
I fainted. I blacked out. I was like, oh my god.
I have a very tiny baby tolerance for scary, gory things.
I felt so bad.
He did.
But the thing is, it's way less violent than Alien and Aliens, which you did fine with and liked.
I think because a big part of what frightened me about was it Fury Road that we watched?
Yeah.
Mad Max. from the beginning throughout, the dehumanization of human people.
Yeah.
The people doing the what was his name? Even saying his name is disgusting.
Immortan
Joe.
Yeah.
Dehumanized himself to dehumanize others.
Right.
By making himself a god, which in his mind he would think is better. But if you're making yourself a god, you're still dehumanizing yourself. You're just giving, to me, this is my perspective, you're just giving yourself privileges, but at the cost of your humanity. And the danger of that is now that you have hundreds of children, you don't know who they are. No one really loves you. They fear you, which seems like something you would want, but just because you deny your humanity doesn't mean it's gone. It only means it's locked and it's suffering in you. It's atrophying inside of you. I know, right? And so to watch that in real time, his decaying physical body, his decayed psyche, his decayed view and warped view of other humans. He doesn't see anyone as humans, not himself, not other people. The only difference between how he views himself and others is that he views them as tools. He views himself as the end, the owner, the god. But neither is human. Neither is human, and so both are lost.
This is now a Mad Max podcast with Felicia Nicolette Mackey.
Oh, no. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. All this to say...
I love that. Everything you just said was like, put that in a paper. Write a book.
I would love to write a
dissertation about
that. Oh, absolutely. Grad school pending.
It's so funny that, like, these are the conversations we just have every single day.
Every day. We talk about this at the grocery store.
I know.
Walking anywhere, waiting for, like, getting dinner at home. Just
we did that tonight.
Listening to the air conditioning hum. We did that tonight, yeah.
Yeah.
But I bring that up because that's the difference for me between Alien. Ironically, like, not that dehumanization isn't happening in Alien, but like, these people in Mad Max have been born and raised as cattle.
Yeah, there's so much. All of them. I think you feel so deeply.
For hundreds of years, it seems like.
The weight of the psychological impact of how they got here and how all of this is happening.
And what's been stolen from them.
In Alien, it's like, monsters killing people. The monster impregnates you and then it bursts out of you and then becomes a big one and kills everyone. Okay.
The monster is very clearly the xenomorph in that. And the baseline is an equitable human thing.
I know where you're going with this.
You know what I mean? With Mad Max, it's like part of the plot of Mad Max is getting some of these people to realize, one, that they're humans, and two, that means that there's a reason that they're not happy with how they're being treated. Because it starts off with, like, I won't spoil it, but a lot of people are being used as objects. Parts of their bodies are being used. Parts of, I won't get, right, yeah, and I was just like, parts of their humanity are being isolated. You're good for sex. You're good for adding to blood. Blood. You're good for milk. You're good for... Nobody is being seen as full human. And even though that's all they know, they're not happy with it. But they don't... and that's like an understatement.
Yeah.
They are dying. Like their humanity is locked in a cage inside of them, socialize because of socialization, and even if they don't understand that that's what's happening and that's why they're acting this way, they are chaos personified. Like, I even thought that's what gave me the creeps about Mad Max. That's what made me faint. I mean, that and the gore.
Yeah.
But underlying was just, even in the most mundane of scenes, it was this constant realization that they don't know they're human. None of them know what it means to be human because they've forgotten. And anytime that their humanity pokes its head out unconsciously, it's beaten out of them. And so it's just trauma. And then when they finally learn to, like, what they're missing is being treated like people, it's the most beautiful and sad thing I've ever seen. And it makes me happy, but it also makes me sick because I'm just like, none of them know anything. Like, if I were to reach in and pull one of them into this world, they would have no idea.
Yeah.
It's almost like this thought of, like, children raised by wolves and then they're found at, like, age 10.
Oof.
At that point, if they're even alive.
Yeah.
Verbal
totally
is out the window.
Feral.
Like, you're fair. Like, you can be treated kindly and, like, given a better modicum of life, but, like, can that part of you be unlocked? I don't know. And that frightens me. So that's why Mad Max, like, And then everything else, the gore and the violence and the like, war boy. I was like, that already would have scared me. But the rest of everything I just said took it to 1,000 for me. And then I was like,
you see the stakes. You really see the stakes.
I was horrified.
Because you're an empathetic and insightful person.
Oh, well.
And that's why I love you. And that's why also I imagine you resonated with this iteration of Superman so much.
So much.
Because it wasn't afraid to go to the complete opposite end of the spectrum, as you were just describing how people are in Mad Max. He wants so badly to just protect everybody, especially those who need protecting. Yeah.
Oh my God. He remembers everyone's names.
Yes.
And their faces and their families, and like I just sense such a desire to connect, to be close, to like, he loves this planet. Like, he loves every sentient being, and it never felt artificial. It never felt like I have to look like.
Yeah.
He genuinely just was like to his personality to me just feels like a hand reaching out constantly.
Yeah.
Even in the tiniest of moments, even when he's stumbling into work late, or like he remembers the guard's name.
Yeah.
Like, he just.
And it doesn't feel like I have to put this up to protect myself, because if I need to look human or else they will turn on me.
Right. He just enjoys connecting.
Yeah.
He enjoys life.
Because he believes what he believes about why he's there. And when that comes into question, and when he's given a moment to turn his back on all of it, he doubles down and it's like, no, like, I still believe, regardless of new information that's come to light, I am still who I am, which is human.
And his parents help a lot with that.
Yeah, his Earth parents. Oh God, when his dad, there's a moment where his dad just tells him that he's proud of him, and I just like busted up crying, like, because they're played very, very Southern hick in this one.
Very rural.
Like, the opening scene. This is a visual gag for those who are only listening. I'm gonna be speaking to a coaster on the table as if it was my cell phone. The first introduction we get to not Aunt May, that's Spider-Man.
Superman.
Martha Kent, right. She's like leaning over her cell phone, talking to him on the phone, and she's like, Clark, well, who are you talking to, Clark? When you gotta come visit us, Clark? And he's like, Mom, I'm at work. Just leave me alone. Come on.
And his buddies at work are like, oh, you hick-ass parents. It's like, what? Nothing, Ma. Like, he's so sincere.
All right, I'll tell him to change his underwear.
Gosh, so funny.
And we also get Gideon, who's an actor I should probably actually know. Gideon from Righteous Gemstones, which, please watch that.
That's a great show.
Is Jimmy Olsen.
I cannot believe his ass. I said, excuse me?
You're like, Gideon!
And then apparently his character in the comics gets like mad. Let me choose my words carefully here, because I do not want to participate in misogyny. Jimmy Olsen has excellent game with the ladies.
Yeah, he crushes beef. Is what I think you're trying to say. I think you're trying to say he gets mad puss. Is that what you're trying to say? And she's left the screen.
I just delete me.
She's gone.
Yes. No. So it's he just, like, the whole movie, he's just knee deep in like ladies' attention. I'm like, oh, it's not related to anything we're talking about. I just found it funny because he's cute, but like you would think he's like GQ Man of the Year. I said, oh, hotties throwing themselves at him.
Yeah, he's sitting at his desk and the girl's like, oh, look, there he is over there.
He's like,
whatever.
He doesn't even act like, he's just like,
yeah.
He's nice. I like him.
And there's a main, this is probably spoiler territory, so I won't say who, but like there is a...
Oh, okay.
I'm not... There's a important character who has major hots for him, and it comes into play in a big way in a very big way when
it
comes to the ending.
Would you mind if I pivot to another subject of this
Please
movie?
do.
I want to talk about Lex Luthor.
Okay. Yes. Nicholas Hoult.
He was amazing.
AKA Francis from Deadpool.
Francis.
Ajax / Francis.
Look at him jumping from the MCU to here.
Another reason why I was kind of a naysayer at the beginning. When I saw that they were casting him as Lex, I was like, I don't necessarily get super genius from Nicholas Hoult. And they don't necessarily play him that way. They kind of just play him as like a slightly less evil Jeff Bezos.
CEO entrepreneur, born in 1964, Jeffrey Bezos. Come on, Jeffrey, you can do it. Pave the way, put your back into it. Tell us why, show us how. Look at where you came from, look at you now. Zuckerberg and Gates and Buffett, amateurs can fucking suck it. Fuck their wives, drink their blood. Come on, Jeff, get him! Okay, so that was...
And we just got copyright striked.
Oh, so sorry. I used too many special words. That was from... Bo Burnham's Inside Special, so yeah. I couldn't resist. But yeah,
quick, super quick aside, just because it is still DC related. I'm seeing a lot of push for Bo Burnham to play the Riddler, and I would absolutely love. I would kill everyone in the world. Except the people who were going to make the movie.
Heaven and earth.
To make that happen.
You'd be the only one to get to see it.
I want to see that so bad. It's just you and me. Besides you as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, I killed my mom. I killed my dad. I killed my sister. No.
Your nephews?
My nephews.
Oh, no.
No.
He's kidding.
I am kidding, but it would be...
But seriously.
Just kidding. But not really. What's that from? It would be incredible.
Yeah.
Lex Luthor.
So Lex Luthor.
Let us
loved his villain.
Yeah.
Loved that villain. He was great. He was magnificent. He was evil and awful. And I knew he would be when I saw he was a billionaire.
That just comes with being a billionaire.
It just comes with being a billionaire. You're not getting ahead without exploiting people. So sorry.
Yeah.
But like that, the fact that he was... one of the things that did confuse me a bit was like, okay, so what is his motivation here? Why does he hate Superman? And even Superman was like, why do you seem really obsessed with me? What is this about? Did I do something to you?
Calls him out. He's like, you're jealous, right?
He named that. And Homeboy got pissed. But it was true.
No, he was like, yeah.
Oh, is that, should we?
I am. No. We're not. We don't have to. That's going to be too confusing, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's avoid major spoilers. We can get mild spoilers.
You can talk about their characters at least.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. I loved Lex as a villain. I thought he was perfectly evil. I loved that because having him be a villain and making sure that it's known that he's a powerful billionaire who's also benefiting from weapons.
Oh yeah.
Like arms transfers and weapons manufacturing, which. Not unlike many billionaires today.
Definitely not like anything going on in real life.
Nothing at all in real life. I love that the villain was capitalism. I mean, personified in this Lex Luthor guy. And you think about, like, they're such opposites. And the propaganda when he was, like, spreading about Superman, the twist that he would, like...
Going on talk shows and being like, see, I said all along.
He was perfectly smarmy. He was perfectly, like, ready to twist everything. Talk about bias and a bent. He was just like any good thing that anyone had to say about Superman. The bitterness was flooding off of him.
No.
And I was like, you're a billionaire. You have all this time and money and shit. What the fuck do you care about Superman?
Yeah.
Like, what is with you with it? Like,
it's giving I got turned down at the prom and I'm still mad about it and I'm gonna make it everyone's problem.
Literally the whole time is how he was acting, which I was just like, I thought of Elon Musk actually.
No, totally.
Because I didn't know that Elon Musk was like a total like Reddit rat troll, like
nepo baby bitch boy.
Like can't even win his own games, was literally on the internet being an incel trash. Yeah. And now everything that he does makes sense because I know that was his past. I'm like, oh, you're what an incel would do if they got lots of money.
Yeah.
and were a Nepo baby and their dad gave them money to start. That's you. Oh, Lex Luthor. Oh my God. Like, he's so cruel. Like, I think I even cried once. I was like, you're so awful.
He is absolutely awful. So cruel for the sake of being cruel.
Just for being
in this movie, which is an angle I've not seen before.
But then he purports so strongly that Superman is not one of us and is not a human and he's a threat. And I'm like, parallels.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Wait, parallels? Are you sure? Because
I don't think there's any powerful people in real life who,
putting
like,
children in cages
and defending that decision. Like, who would do that?
And being really upset about immigrants.
That's like so wild. And saying they're the reason that things are bad. Like, whole time Superman is just doing the best that he can every day to make the world a better place. And no matter what he does, this dude is bitter. He's a bitter bish. And like it just, and then the whole like conference. Oh my! The first time he meets him, because he's doing all of this crap before he's even actually met Superman yet.
Oh yeah,
face to face. Then I won't say how they meet.
Yeah.
The first time they meet, it's so funny.
That's a great interaction.
And it speaks to both of their character. But what did you think of Lex Luthor?
Well, basically, he makes him. He traps him in a world of green smoke, and he makes him fly through rings, and pick up cars. Oh wait, no, that's Superman 64. Otherwise known as the worst video game of all time. I loved the animated Lex Luthor. So in this, I thought he was a great villain. Like, comically over the top. James Gunn, I think, really nailed the tone of so comically over the top evil to anyone with any basic sense of fucking human decency and empathy for others.
Literally.
And yet all of his little peons and everyone who is like following him and are like in love with him and obsessed with him are like, he's so great. He's wonderful.
He's and it's the like best. I love him.
It's so funny because they lay it on so thick, and conservatives and Fox News and Ben Shapiro are all butthurt about this movie, and it's like none of them said anything about anyone in particular.
They didn't name a name.
They don't have to, but the fact that you get all defensive about it.
It's not just admitting.
Doesn't that say something? Is that an admission?
Well, with the latest commentary being that they want to reclaim the word schnock. I'm not even going to say the word. Yahtzee. Yeah. And want to reclaim it and own it as like a badge of honor for them.
What up, my Nazi?
Yeah.
Yeah, say it with the hard eye.
Yeah.
Someone actually said this not on The Onion. In real life. On a major news network.
So there's that. It's disgusting.
I'm gonna eat my own face.
It's literally disgusting. I think I disassociated when I first heard it, and I was like, I'm just gonna go leave my body for a few hours. But yeah, Lex.
Sometimes you just have to do that.
And the way he treats people is such a juxtaposition to Superman too.
Yeah.
Like, we watched like
he smashes stuff to the ground and
just so people
it's like, pick it up.
Hurry up and pick it up. Just like somebody does something or says something he doesn't like, and suddenly like he's ready to like kill them all.
Yeah.
And make his underlings do it, and the underlings at some points are just like, I don't know, bro, and he's like, I don't give a do it.
Yeah.
And they still do it.
He's kind of like I know you haven't seen Game of Thrones, but this will land I think for a lot of people. If you're wondering what Lex Luthor is like in this movie, just picture Jeff Bezos injected with I was gonna say a little bit, but a lot of it of Joffrey Baratheon from Game of Thrones. So
does that hit for? I'm sure a lot of people have seen it.
He's basically if Joffrey Baratheon grew up in America.
Hello.
And that should tell you everything you need to know about him. And I spoiled everything without spoiling anything. If you know Game of Thrones, you'll be like, oh my god, okay, yeah. So I want to kill him with my own bare hands. He's awful.
Terrible.
And I think he I don't know. I can't say like, oh, it didn't really feel. It felt different from every other portrayal.
How was he portrayed in the others?
So he's much cooler headed. He's much more until like most villain. Once it all starts falling apart, he
their hair gets blow frayed. Up a little bit. They start getting a little nuts.
Yeah, but for the most part, he's typically been like this cool, calm, collected. Like, you can't see me mad. You get like a Dr. Hemlock type.
Ooh, those scare me the worst,
from,
y'all.
Star Wars, not Rebel, Bad Batch.
I can't stand a cool villain. Like, if the villain is always like unbothered, I'm like, then nothing is working. It's only when they get frazzled that I'm like, yay, hope. Yeah.
Maybe I'm mostly thinking. So most of what I've seen is the animated, the cartoon Superman that came out in the 90s, around the same time as the Batman animated series, which is still my all-time favorite portrayal of Batman ever. Wow. R.I.P. Kevin Conroy, favorite Batman, best Batman. But he's voiced by Clancy Brown, so Mr. Krabs without the crab. Mr. Krabs without the crabs. He doesn't have any STDs. No, but he's like here, and he's like, Superman.
Still on the STDs.
I hope you're not still on STDs.
Oh, God. No way. That's so funny.
Yeah, he's much more level-headed. This one literally just seems like a real-life take on what a spoiled rich kid who grows up to basically run the country would turn out to be. In terms of, he's the greatest power as a civilian can get to.
When you're a billionaire, you have a lot of power.
He's not a government leader, but he does basically run just like Jeff Bezos.
He buys the government.
Yeah, exactly.
He totally
profits from war by selling weapons to the country that he knows is about to go to war.
Among other
by setting up the war with the other country, so that looks like you guys need more weapons. Maybe it's because I told the other country to attack you, but I mean that's neither here nor there. That's hearsay.
I'm just here to protect people.
Yeah.
Like he's oh God, he's perfect in his sliminess. He's perfect in his duplicity. He's perfect in his manipulativeness, if that's a word. Manipulations.
Yeah.
Like, every word out of his mouth was covered in slime and sewage. Like, somebody would try to call him out on something, and he'd be like, or are you actually doing that? Yeah. I was like, Tucker Carlson, is that you?
There was, like, basically a Tucker Carlson type character in this movie.
Oh, my God, there was. Why do we even need Superman?
Yeah.
Is he a terrorist
threat?
I've
said all along that we should get rid of all illegal aliens, and I don't just mean the ones from outer space.
Hello. Ish was wild. But yeah, he was great. He was a great foil for Superman, I felt.
Yeah.
I love a good villain.
Everything, kind of like the Dark Knight, everything that the Joker is and everything that Batman is are so diametrically opposed that they just make each other shine more. And I don't like the performances, the dialogue, the tension, the rage that you feel from both sides.
One thing I will say that they have in common is they're both afraid. Fear is definitely the only thing I saw in common between Lex Luthor and Superman.
Fear is the mind killer.
For different reasons, and obviously they had different reactions to those fears.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like,
Imagine having the ability to cut somebody in half with your laser eyes with the same effort that it takes to blink, or to crush somebody, to rip somebody into 1,000 shreds like they're a piece of paper, and be face to face with this person, watch him commit unspeakable horrors, and then not absolutely rip each and every single one of their bones out of their body one by one.
I don't know if I could do that.
The restraint that it would take, not many people would. Nobody would
have that restraint. I would at least rip his toes off. That's why. At least the toes.
Now your ears you'll keep, and I'll tell you why.
That was a perfect quote right there. Yeah.
And that just shows you like how good Superman is. Like
That's his superpower.
The restraint that it takes. It's not his physical strength that makes him Superman. It's his will, his
humanness,
humanity,
his value of life.
Yes.
His honoring of life. Honoring might be a stronger word.
Yeah.
I don't like you. In fact, I hate you. But I honor that you're a sentient being.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to take justice in my hands just because I easily could. Easier than you with your billions of dollars and your contracted superheroes.
Right.
Like, even with his contracted superheroes, he'd have to call them. And in the time it takes for him to get them to fly over, like you said, blink.
Yep.
Now you're on the floor. Now you're sausage.
Yeah. Yeah. His contracted superheroes, like you say, are an interesting part of the movie.
Shout out Nathan Fillion!
Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner, the Green Lantern. He's in the trailers, don't worry.
Did not expect. I don't know how I missed him.
Malcolm Reynolds just pops up on screen all of a sudden.
We just watched. Andrew just showed me Firefly. And next thing you know, we're in this movie. I'm like, that blonde guy.
Like, that's Mal
from Firefly is in this?
Right after we hear a talking robot who voiced by Alan Tudyk, a.k.a. Wash.
Oh, my God.
They got,
that was such a sweet reunion.
They're starting a podcast together. And I think it's called, like, Spacemen or something.
Oh, my God.
They
Have
also...
to hear that.
I know. They had a show, a pretty short-lived show that's, I think, maybe in, like, 2012 or 2013. And it was called Con Men. And Nathan Fillion and Alan Tudyk both play... they don't say it's Firefly, but two actors who were on a cult classic sci-fi series, and it's about them going to conventions and seeing, like, just the craziness of.
This is making me want to cosplay people. From Firefly.
Zoe and Mal?
Yeah. Let's do it.
On it. On it like a haunted. Yeah, so.
I have the lips pre-equipped, so
he was
I think I got it.
He was great. I don't want to say too much else. The supporting cast of other heroes who show up, I think we're all cast really well. There's one a character who I can say he's also in the show, Mr. Terrific.
I liked him.
His actor was criminally misunderused, misused in the one X-Men movie that he was in, where he shows up, has the coolest powers. He's one of like the strongest mutants in the X-Men universe, and in this movie, Kevin Bacon kills him in like 4 seconds, and he's completely wasted.
Whoa!
So he got to have his time to shine in the DC universe instead as Mr. Terrific, one of the smartest people in the world. I think he's like canonically in the DC universe like the third smartest person in the world.
Damn.
Or in the universe.
I believe it.
He has some really cool tech. We got Hawk Girl. She was pretty cool, although I feel like her performance was probably the weakest in the whole movie. I felt like a lot of the times I kind of felt like Gina Carano in Mandalorian. She was like the girl bounty hunter.
Yeah.
No, I don't think she was a bounty hunter.
Woman.
I was like, yeah, I didn't mean like girl bounty hunter, like she's a bounty hunter and she's a girl.
I know.
I was saying the one girl, and then I meant to start a new sentence.
I don't want to respect her necessarily.
I was also going to say,
but I also want to be consistent with my ethic.
Yeah. Oh my god, fucking! Now I'm just mad about her.
She's awful.
Yeah. She's a UFC fighter in real life. So it's like, yeah, she's great. The stunts were great.
But her acting...
But when the time came to act, it was like, okay, maybe let's take a little bit more. Let's take a little bit more training there. I don't know who the Hawk Girl actor is. I've never seen her in anything before. I think she probably could have been given a little bit more. But I thought her performance was pretty weak. Other than that, I don't want to say anything else about other characters who show up. We've been going for a little over an hour and a half. Is there any other parts that aren't major spoilery that you want to talk about? Anything that resonated with you? Oh, I know what we can talk about. The soundtrack.
So good.
Loved the soundtrack. I think they developed a new Superman theme for this movie.
Wow. I didn't know the old one.
But they start with the old one. If you know the legendary John Williams Superman score, the movie starts with some notes from that theme, and then it goes into the new one, and it's such okay, we're doing
like a respectful acknowledgement of what came before,
but also like showing, I think, that like we're emulating more what came before, because this Superman is a lot closer to the Christopher Reeves like Superman from like the 70s and 80s, like the like the bright, fun, a little bit goofy a Superman.
Speaking of goofy,
James Gunn is dialed into music as a storytelling medium. That's so true.
That's oh my god, I like how you phrased that, Jimmy.
Guardians of the Galaxy made the use of music in Guardians of the Galaxy movies is one of the best parts about them, and you're right, he got so good at that from those movies that the usage of music in this movie, like the scores and the actual music, like the punk music that they use in this one with the fake band that he likes, the Mighty Killjoys or something, which I'm like, is that supposed to be a Mighty Boss Tones reference? Like, but they made a real song that they play at the end, and it's like there's punk music, and there's like there's a scene where Mr. Terrific is fighting all these guys, and it's like there's music that you hear playing from a radio in the background, and then all of a sudden when the fight starts, the music gets really loud, and now you're not just hearing it from the radio, you're hearing it as part of the movie. It's like,
oh, that was a great scene. The
only person I think I've ever seen do that better is Edgar Wright, who made Scott Pilgrim. And it, like, between Scott Pilgrim and Baby Driver alone, those are just flawless usage of that. But yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out, Jimmy, because like I sometimes forget that this is James Gunn until we get weird shape-shifting guy. And some of the jokes are like, oh my god, he totally wrote all of this himself, and nobody had the heart to tell him that like this sounds really quippy and dumb.
One thing the MCU has done to me has burned out my meter, my tolerance for quips.
That just happened.
Oh my god, bro. Like, I'm sick of it. That was why I stopped with the Avengers. That was why I stopped loving Iron Man. I was just like, Robert Downey Elizabeth Jr. If I hear one more quip from you.
I know. Earth is closed today, Squidward.
Wait, but I liked when you said it.
That's a great line, though.
Squidward.
When him and Doctor Strange just have like quip offs, it's just like, shut up and continue the movie.
Like a little bit, it's much like well, hold on, let me back up. Ain't too much seasoning around these parts. I'm never gonna tell someone there's too much seasoning. I love seasoning. I think it's more like salt. Quips to me are like salt. You just need a little bit.
Yeah.
I've never had a dish where I'm like, I need you to put like a shit ton of salt in that.
Right.
Like if you could just...
And the trick is you put it through evenly once. You don't keep coming back and
every bite you want to put some on my spoon. Every bite I take,
and a little bit more.
I'm taking bites, and it's like a hand is coming out from the side. Like,
yeah. Don't you want more Salt Bae?
There's literally a mountain of salt on the dish.
Yeah.
I'm scooping around it to get one measly bite, and you're like, "Here's a little more for you."
Yeah.
Just make sure you didn't miss that.
And it's like,
now the quips don't mean anything to me.
I know.
Which sucks, because I loved when they would throw them in randomly, and I'd always get a laugh, because I'd be like, ha! Now it's like every 3 seconds they do it, and I'm like...
Because they had to make everybody be the quippy person. And then you get the Avengers movies where it's like, okay, now you have Iron Man and Doctor Strange and Spider-Man and Star-Lord and everyone's trying to do the quips and out-quip each other.
Even the Hulk tried once, and I was like,
Wait, really?
No. I think it was one time I noticed, and I think everyone in the team was like, what the hell? And I think he was like, oh, okay, not me.
I don't remember that.
I was like, okay.
The quips are needed so we remember the moments of lazy writing. Movies aren't quotable anymore. This is the sad solution.
True. Ain't that true? That's terrible.
I hate that you're right.
And I think I blame like marketing execs and producers. And maybe that's mean of me to say, but I feel like there's probably so many amazing productions, even ones that have been released that we like, but like how much better could they have been if there wasn't somebody to go, well, the producers don't want to support it or we don't think it would be marketable, so, or, you know, like, I just don't, so, for context, I do a lot in not the movie industry necessarily, but like modeling and commercial work and TV, theater, like, I've been involved in performing arts for a while. Performing arts and commercial work, and so I do have relationships with a lot of directors, and what I hear from them is that, especially if they're writing their own movie, which with the state of Hollywood as it is, a lot of creatives are writing their own projects, and when it comes to getting backing from production or like producers in general, when they want their films, like, you know, like, you need money to make a film a lot of the times, and they've talked about feeling like their script just gets turned into like Swiss cheese. Like, people are taking things out. They're like, oh, people who don't respect or have the skill of script writing, mind you, but they're just like, well, I want to make money, and I don't think that would make money. I don't like that character. I don't like that plot line. I don't like, take that out, move that around, water that down. Even with Hadestown. Like, Andrew loves Hadestown. It's a musical. It's really, really good. Before it was on Broadway, it was off-Broadway production, and the soundtrack was a lot longer and more beautiful now that I've heard it. But once it made it to Broadway, and then it got nominated for a Tony, there's a 14 Tony. I know. Why'd I say a Tony? What? They cleared. But still, I saw that version, and I liked it a lot. I loved it. But then Andrew showed me the like pre-Broadway version, the pre-edits, the pre-cuts, the before they kind of commercial, like, I don't want to say commercial. What's the word? Sanitized?
It is commercialized, and with that comes neutering of the story, hand-holding, spoon-feeding of like, the story.
Can you change this? Because we are professionals in terms of marketing, and we don't think that that's marketable.
There's, like, this air of you have to spoon-feed, and, like, there's no... I feel like there's no room for, like, interpretation anymore.
No.
It's like, we have to tell you what to believe. We are going to tell you how to take this movie and where it's going to land, which is why I actually like that we disagreed about that. Well, I mean, we're...
The
interview scene. Like, we're more or less on the same page. Like I said, we're on opposite sides of the same coin.
Yeah, totally.
No, we're on opposite ends of the same side of that coin.
I hear what you mean.
But yeah, I think what you and Jimmy are saying, like, it's producer and studio interference, and I genuinely think it's mostly has to do with money.
But to be fair, there is lazy writing. So I do hear. I don't want you to let go of that completely, Jimmy, because I have seen lazy writing where they have had. I know for a fact that they had the budget to go harder, and I personally feel like I can sense it. I can feel it. Maybe that's just the woo-woo in me. But yeah, like it's producers and studios who are like.
But I think it's because so much money gets involved. Like, when you make a movie on your own, you are the director is the last, like, line, not last line of defense, but it is the be all and say all, end all. I am the director. This is my movie and my vision, and this is what I want. And I don't mean that from a narcissistic or egotistical point of view, but like, this is my vision. I should get the last say to my movie. That I'm often writing as well and creating.
It shocked me how little that happens.
And when movies like this, superhero movies, just keep getting bigger and bigger, and I think this is why I don't think Marvel, like the Marvel fatigue that has happened. I genuinely think it's producers and executives chasing money because one movie comes out, makes $1 bazillion, and they're just like, we don't care about, we're going to say we care, but we don't actually care about original stories. We're just like, take that last one that made us all so fucking much money, make it again with different characters. Oh, I don't like that this is... Can you make this character more like Tony Stark?
People liked him in the last movie.
Last one. Oh, who cares if he's totally different in the comic? Like, and that's why they all got so samey, because they took this like formula and were like, well, hey, that made us money, so like they dilute every creative choice with this to be the safest and to not ruffle any feathers and to not step on any toes, and that's why it all feels the same nowadays. Like the first, we were just talking about, like, after watching Superman and having like my superhero movie gland activated for better stimulated.
Yeah.
I in such a lovely way. I was like, man, I want to watch the Marvel movies again, and I was like, scratch that. I want to watch like just the Infinity Saga. Like start with Iron Man, watch most of them, skip a good bit of them, like Thor 2. And just watch up to Endgame. I want to do that again before it started getting super diluted. I mean, it did start towards the end. I was like kind of rolling my eyes at certain scenes in those later movies, but post Endgame, like, I just have such a hard time caring about anything.
Yeah.
Like Moon Knight, for God's sakes, which is one of the coolest characters in comics and played by Oscar Isaac, who is an incredible actor and one of my favorite actors. And I watched the first couple episodes and I was like, I'm so tired of the Marvel, like, hollow kind of, they're not taking risks.
No.
I'm realizing more and more in my life, whether it is something that is critically panned or critically acclaimed, I like things that are bold.
Yeah.
One of my favorite video games of all time. Wow, I found a way to bring in Phantom Dust into a conversation about Superman. One of my favorite video games of all time is this crazy ass video game called Phantom Dust that was way ahead of its time, is super weird. It's super niche. It's a card game and a fighting game. Like, how are you going to put two super niche things together? That's never going to work. It works. It's amazing. But I also get it if it's not somebody's thing.
Yeah.
My favorite band of all time is Tool. I will never argue with anybody who's like, dude, I fucking hate listening to Tool. Like, I can't wrap my head around the time signatures. Half the time he's not even rhyming when he's singing. And I'm like, yes, but it's about the lyrics. Ooh. I prefer bold choices.
Jimmy says Moon Knight is one of my all-time favorites. They did him dirty for such a dark, complex character.
Right. Oh. Yeah. And maybe, I don't know, I didn't watch the whole thing mostly because of fatigue, but I also wasn't really grabbed. I was grabbed by it a little bit more than a lot of the content. But like, if you look at the earlier shows, and I know we're talking a lot about Marvel supposed to be talking about a DC movie.
DC.
But superhero fatigue, and this movie refreshing the superhero fatigue, I think it's important to talk about. Like, looking at the early... How we
got here.
Yeah, how we got here. Like, the early Marvel shows, like Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, those were awesome. And now we have, like... I don't even know, like, what is the one right now? I don't even know. Like, in terms of movies, there's like Thunderbolts came out, a new Captain America, like with Falcon as Captain America, and it's like, yeah, I could probably watch that because I watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and like that was fine, I guess. But it's everything's fine, everything's safe, and it's like,
yeah, brand safe.
Scare me again.
I think
there's no stakes.
Yeah, there's none.
Oh my god, I'm just getting mad now.
I really like that I think you should be mad. I feel that from a lot of creatives, and I think it really just comes back to this whole endless saga of like the clash between the art of business and the business of art. Ooh. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like the art of the business being like...
And the art of art.
Yeah, like, so you have no stakes, just stakeholders. Damn, that's a bar, Jimmy!
Put that on my fucking
Jimmy
tombstone.
Doom said there's no stakes, just stakeholders. That's a whole word.
That's a bar.
I just got cast in a documentary. I don't have an NDA on this, so I can say this.
I thought you were going to talk about the other thing.
No, I can't talk about that. We got... booked in a commercial gig that we can't talk about yet, but it's really big.
Like potential to change our lives big.
Yes, so it's very exciting. But another job that I just got booked on was for a documentary. The director is currently trying to get funding, and so that's...
Oh, yeah.
Because I messaged her because I got booked and I didn't hear anything for a while, and she's like, we're trying to secure grants and funding and things like that. And I was like, oh, and she's like, I don't know how long it's going to take. And I'm like, this is the business of art. This is the part that I hate. And this is, I think, when I talk to people whether it's like they're on the PR side or they're producers, or I don't talk to those people very often because I feel like they're usually at the big fancy events, and I'm a very grounded type of performer. I'm not yet up to those echelons yet, but I do see it all the time of like people who think that the business of making art, the art of the business, if I'm saying this right, do you know what I mean? Like, if the art of the business as I define it is like the creating, and maybe the art of art should be how I say that. You're writing, you're painting, you're singing, you're acting, you're crafting worlds. You're using your imagination, you're taking risks, you're being bold, you're creating stakes, you're painting a new vision, you're asking people to go there, you're bringing emotions that are uncomfortable and raw and real, and then all of that is amazing, exciting. You're highlighting people and places and things and emotions that don't get highlighted in certain nuanced ways. You're bringing new stories. And then all these people with all this freaking money that you have to jump through hoops to get, because again, it's expensive even if you're an independent director. Even if you're just you writing with a typewriter, what? It's 2025. You get it.
You sitting down in front of the old gramophone, listening to some tunes.
Like, listen to some old school Johnny Mathis and the boys.
You know what the perfect example of what you're saying is? Godzilla -1. They made that movie for like $10 million, and which for a Godzilla movie and for any movie in this day and age really is cheap. Nothing.
Yeah.
And they did as much as they possibly could with as little as possible, and there was very little interference. They trusted the writers and the directors, and it
was phenomenal.
They made art with it. And it was phenomenal, and they told an incredible human story, and then versus pretty much all of the previous, like, I don't know how many years of Godzilla monster movies in Japan and here. Like, the ones here are like popcorn throwaway movies that are like fun to go see, kind of like Fast and Furious. I like watching them, or Transformers. I like watching them, but like, I'm not gonna be like, man, that really moved me when that one robot punched the other robot in the face. You're just like, yeah, fuck, that was awesome. But in Godzilla -1, you're crying the human connections, and they did it so cheaply.
And that's the thing about art, though, is like you can't quantify it. You can't say, because we did these choices, this is how we'll get people to feel this way about it. You can't say, well, there's a lot of money riding on this, so I know you guys want to take like artistic choices and like really just like do that, but like we have to go with what our data tells us is profitable. And your idea to like talk about like how Japanese society was after World War II and like have Godzilla represent the trauma of the atomic bomb landing in Hiroshima and how that like shook up society, that's just not safe for us.
You can't kill that character because how are they going to come back in the sequel? We're making a franchise out of this.
We already have the merch.
Yeah.
Like, imagine dealing with, and I mean, you as a graphic designer, like, I'm sure you can even speak to that. Like, knowing your craft, you've trained in this, you understand, like, yes, you understand, like, how a client might want things, but also you also understand that you know the art of what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you know that what they want is possible through the way that you're doing it. Not in a cocky, like, I know better than you way, but quite literally you're being hired to do this artistic thing that they cannot do.
Yeah.
Yet they're telling you things from a perspective that is not an art. Like,
it's interesting that you say that, because graphic design and, you know, movies, and I would probably say video games as well, they are art, but they also do have to sell. They have to be marketed.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But you can't lose the art over the marketing aspect. You can't. And then when you do, and people who shouldn't be making choices about the art sacrifice that for the sake of making the money part, then it just becomes soulless. And you have to find a balance, which is why I'm thinking of Godzilla -1. Like, it didn't.
it didn't make as much money as it did because studio execs came in and were like, use these trends, follow these trends, and do the things that are popular right now because
that'll make
we can make a really cool trailer out of this. Like I feel like they just sell movies as trailers now with our like lack of attention spans. They allowed it to be art first, and that moved people and made them go see it.
And then my wallet opened. See how that happened?
The
art started first.
I know, and you can tell that this is this is a solid fact proven by science and numbers because there was also an American Godzilla movie that came out around the same time.
The way I didn't know that.
Well, there was
testimony enough.
Maybe like 6 months to a year later tops.
Couldn't even tell you.
And Godzilla -1 did so much more money, and it wasn't. They were probably both marketed roughly the same way. Get butts in seats to sell tickets. Also, I think directors should be in charge of making the trailers.
Yeah.
Too many studios outsource the trailers to whoever can make it look the most like and they misrepresent the director's intention. What I was saying was the Godzilla came out over here. It was like Godzilla versus Kong, I think. It was fine. It was a whatever popcorn movie. That movie came out and people went to see it because it was like, oh, cool, Godzilla. Same thing happened with Godzilla -1. People went to see it and were like, "Oh, Godzilla! I'll go see that." And then they're blown away by the quality of the story and the effects and the weight that it leaves. When you leave a movie or when you finish a video game and you can't stop thinking about it, like Nier or the Superman movie, and you're talking about it and you're engaging and you're talking to others about it and you're like, oh my god, dude, I just saw the Superman movie, it's so good. Yeah, but I don't know, I'm kind of tired of superhero movies. No, this one's totally different. It's like actually about being happy and finding like it finding hope, that word of mouth, that excitement, it gets people talking about it, like,
and happy not in ignorance but happy in reality, happy in the and like, because Superman never, from what I saw in that movie, he doesn't pretend that bad things aren't happening. Like, he doesn't claim that the people that he cares about or the sentient beings he cares about are good. And that's why he, like, again, back to Crypto.
The squirrel? Oh, the squirrel, the dog,
But Crypto, like, he doesn't... If this movie was toxically positive, he'd probably be like, he's a good dog, you know, he just needs some time. He's very candid, like, I don't like him.
Yeah. He pisses me off. And he does. He annoys him the whole movie. And he was, and I think Crypto was in it the exact right amount that he needed to be.
Yeah.
He wasn't over relied on. He wasn't under relied on. They really struck a balance with it.
Yeah. And even when he was there, he still was acting like a dog. Like, sometimes Superman would tell him to do stuff and he would do stuff, and sometimes he would tell him to do stuff and he just...
Yeah. He's a dog.
Like, he's a dog. And he's not expected to be always good or perfect, like nothing. That's what I meant about the in-between. Like, this movie is very happy, but not in obliviousness or willful ignorance. Like, Superman just doesn't go around being like, everything's not as bad as it seems, ha 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 ha, you can all be like me. Like, he's not toxically positive in the sense that he's denying reality or denying even little parts. Like,
nor is he like the cynical kind of like, you know,
everything sucks, you're all worthless, like,
kill your heart, you know. I talked about this when we came out of the movie. I was like, I feel like most modern superhero movies, they're portrayed like their strength and their character arcs come from challenging the darkness within themselves. And it's like, yeah, we've seen that for so long. This is the first superhero movie and first movie at all, frankly, that I've seen where it's his strength is about finding the light within himself and the light within others, and despite,
as he's being told constantly he's inherently evil. When he's like, I don't resonate with what they're saying about me, but you are,
and being given every reason to prove them right. And and just
could have just mowed that lawn right up.
Yeah. Well, anyone have any last thoughts? James Duminson, sorry for using your full government name. What did you think? What was your favorite scene? If you want to say something that's maybe not a super spoiler. We've been going for just over 2 hours, so I think we'll probably wrap up soon. I do have to get up early, but this was a great conversation.
Yeah.
I was like,
thank you for.
We've been having conversations like this since we saw it on Friday, and it's now Tuesday, and we both have not shut up about it. And I'm not even that big of a DC guy. If you noticed, most of the conversation I kept talking about Marvel stuff because that's what I know. But I am officially a believer. I am on board for whatever James Gunn wants to do with the rest of the DCEU, or I think they're just calling it DCU now to separate it from the previous stuff.
Period. I love that that's your final thought. Jimmy, you all right, my book.
That is all you need to know.
Nathan Fillion could get it even with that
haircut.
Even
with that haircut.
That haircut was very horrendable, I'm not going to lie. To steal from Wicked's vocabulary, it was horrendable.
That is unfortunately how he looks in the comics as well.
Oh, God. Because he could still get it.
It's so interesting that they picked this version of Green Lantern, too, because I think he's like the fourth or third iteration of Green Lantern. Like we skipped the
gave him
the
perfect
little ones.
Hair.
Yeah, he came out looking like he was trying to find some berries and cream. And it sounded like Jimmy Doom was about to give him some cream, if you know what I mean.
And we respect the hell out of that shit.
We sure do, because you were right.
You're a true fan.
You know what I hate? Okay, I love the world I love that we live in the world where Nathan Fillion got to make a short film where he got to play Nathan Drake from Uncharted because he was made for that role. I hate that we live in the world that we never got to see that movie because he got too old.
Oh no!
But you are right. I mean, he is he's a fine specimen. Yeah. I will say.
I think that's a beautiful closing thought.
Yeah. What a beautiful closing thought. We'll close out with, God damn, Nathan Fillion's pretty.
Yeah.
He's another one of those actors where it's like, I want to just hang out with him.
Yeah.
I want to be his friend.
Aww.
I want him to introduce me to Christina Hendricks.
Oh my God.
For purely platonic reasons. No. Well, I think we will we'll leave it on that very horny note. And yeah, I here's the thing. I don't think I will go back and watch any of the American, like the Legendary Pictures Godzilla movies. I want to go back and watch Godzilla -1. I'll probably not go back and watch many Superman movies. I like Man of Steel. There's a lot about it that I do still like, but I'm not going to go back and watch Batman v Superman. I'm not going to go back and watch the Justice League. I want to go back and see Superman like tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Like it's left such a mark, and honestly, frankly, I don't even think we really touched on this. That energy was so needed right now.
So needed.
I mean, even just speaking personally, just for myself, every day I'm close to losing hope forever. And movies like this, even though it's from, one of the worst, like Warner Brothers is doing some serious fuck shit right now and laying off employees and stuff, but like we talked about with Disney, we went to a panel at MagFest where there was somebody who worked at Disney who was championing voices of
queer, black and brown
marginalized voices, and it's like, I know it's Disney, but there's a lot of people there, a lot of good people that are trying to make the right changes. And I don't know if I want to say James Gunn seems like one of those people, but he is one of those people, but it seems like he is.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see where this goes. I need this hope, this energy of never giving up and following your dreams. Coming back to One Piece. You just started watching One Piece.
Love it.
Blue skies and a wind at your back. We've had dark and depressing for too long, and now we need media to uplift more. And I can't think of anyone strong enough to uplift us all right now than Superman.
Yo, truly.
and I will drop the proverbial mic, and it won't go anywhere because it's on a little thing here. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for chatting. Always good conversations, Jimmy. Thank you for being here, my love.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We always have these conversations and I'm like, God damn it, let's set up the camera right now.
Also, anybody who's reading my shirt, if you can see it, what do you mean by you only watch dubs? I bought this when I was an elitist anime fan, like 5-6 years ago. I'm over that now, so don't worry about it. You can watch dubs and be an anime fan. I'm not judging. It's totally fine.
Yeah. My hot take that's not all that hot is just watch the one that you like more.
Yeah.
Like Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo, Full Metal Alchemist, those need to be watched in dubs for me. Naruto, Jujutsu Kaisen, gotta be sub.
Panty and Stocking versus Garter Belt has to be watched dub.
Yeah.
I won't be taking questions about it.
I would agree with that. There's a new one of those out. You can't take the sky from me. That's right, Jimmy.
Get it, Jimmy.
Yeah. Speaking of, we finished Firefly. I gotta show you Serenity.
Oh, yes.
The movie that wraps up the whole thing. And I will make one comment about my own shirt. I don't have any Ozzy Osbourne shirts, but my Kiss shirt is the closest that I've got. So, R.I.P. Ozzy. Thank you for being here, Jimmy. Thank you for being here. Love of my life. You can follow us both down here on our personal Shisa. But if you want to follow the Experience Point, it's TheExpPoint across all the social medias. Check us out on Twitch and YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and whatever you fancy. Thank you for being here. Thank you guys. Thank you gals. Thank you non-binary pals. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Go to therapy and watch Superman.
Yeah. Good night.
Good night. Oh, we're not taking a break. We're actually leaving. Goodbye.